Hello everybody and welcome back to United District, and today, finally, we are looking at Bryan Mbeumo's first Manchester United interview. So, of course, the news broke yesterday that Mbeumo had finally signed a 5-year contract at Old Trafford, and now, on Tuesday, we're getting to see his first interview, and there's a few interesting parts which I want to break down through this interview. So, of course, we covered it all on United District, and the first thing, which I thought was interesting, is that Mbeumo essentially confirmed, well, he did confirm, these previous reports which suggested that during these negotiations he wanted to join United, and Jay Harris from The Athletic, he's a Brentford correspondent, I believe, or at least he was, he explained that he was pretty certain that Mbeumo was a United fan. And Mbeumo, I'm really happy to be here. From the start, I wanted to join this massive club. This is the biggest club in the world and in England, and do you guys, I just find it funny. Like, we are so bad at the moment, but Cunha and Mbeumo, of course, not all signings are going to want to join Manchester United, but there are guys, top-level players, who still are just almost in love with the club. But yeah, if you go through some of these, I think this was quite an interesting quote as well. He got the interviewer asked about going from working with Thomas Frank, who he worked with for 6 years straight at Brentford, and now Ruben Amorim, and he says that he thinks they have similar values, that he's quite close to his players. And if you remember, before Amorim joined United, that was something which was quite, I don't know, I guess it was quite made of, that Amorim really wanted to get those connections off the pitch. If you remember, in his really early days, I think Ruben Amorim was actually paying for some of his players to kind of live more comfortably, etc. Like, yeah, I guess we haven't really seen too much of that personal side of Ruben Amorim at Manchester United so far, but I imagine it's something that he'll probably want to bring in during pre-season, and that is also something that I did want to touch on here. This is another interesting part of Mbeumo's interview. So, his first assignment as a United player, obviously he hasn't been in from the start of pre-season, but he's in from the start of the tour. And when he was speaking during that interview, he said, it's really important for me to be on this tour. It's really important for me, he said. It's important to create links as soon as possible with teammates in and out of the pitch. The spirit is really important to create a group. So being involved as soon as possible for me is really important. And it did also come out earlier today that while Mbeumo was training at Brentford, he was actually in individual training, similar to Garnacho, Rashford, etc. So that's an interesting point as well, which wasn't really picked up on beforehand. But yeah, if we go through as well, this is an interesting one, because obviously, like I mentioned beforehand, there's not this team isn't blessed with the players that Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha grew up watching, but there are still some exciting players, and especially that Cunha relationship, which there's another quote on. But yeah, Mbeumo says there's some great players in this team. Bruno, now Cunha. Xerxes gets a mention, which is interesting. I think Xerxes is one of those players that other professionals probably enjoy playing with, just because of that technical consistency. We could potentially see all four of them in a team together, but he also said in every line I could say a name and I'm really happy to meet them. Well, we still got some improvements, Brian, but yeah. And then obviously he went on to speak about Cunha a little bit more, and he said, I watched him play a lot at Wolves. I know he's a very good player. I'm sure he's going to bring us something in the team. And in the video yesterday, I did mention about the kind of differences that both of these players have. Obviously, Mbeumo is a little bit more calculated. He loves looking at the details in how to get those little 1% advantages. And Cunha is a little bit more off the cuff. Seems like a bit of an old school player, I'd say. So it will be interesting to see how their partnership almost develops a little bit, I guess. As well, actually, there's another really good video which I've just seen on YouTube from a French YouTuber. I'm not entirely sure the context of it, but he was actually doing a day in the life with Mbeumo, I think, during his time at Brentford, and he's bloody good on the piano, I will say that. I loved this as well. I know I'm a calm and chill guy out of the pitch, which he seems... I don't know if it's just me, he doesn't seem like a footballer. He seems like your uncle. He just seems like a normal guy. But yeah, he clearly has that kind of intensity on the pitch. And yeah, just like this, confirming that Athletic report essentially he's living his dream now, which exactly is what Cunha said as well. And I don't think these guys are just, I mean, they could be, but it doesn't seem like these guys are just saying it to say it. Obviously, Mbeumo has rejected Newcastle, Spurs, even though Brentford really wanted him to take one of their offers instead for some reason. But yeah, he clearly really wants to be here. He's the third Cameroonian to represent Manchester United, and that's something that he's really proud of. And this is my highlight of the interview, which is like, obviously, I'm not a regular match goer. I'm sure there might be some regular match goers watching this video, and obviously there's a big debate about the new stadium, the new circus, or staying at Old Trafford. Some people say we need to move. Old Trafford's getting too old, ironically, and some people want to stay there because of the history. And I mean, I don't really want to give out my opinion too much on it because, like I said, I'm not a regular match goer. I think it's more for them to give out their opinions, if that makes sense. But when I do see players like this, and Mbeumo, if you haven't watched the interview already, Harry Robinson takes him outside. He's still, I think there must be like a tour going on outside, so he has to like only peek out. But like, he just looks like he loves it. And he also said a line which basically said that even though I've been here as an opposition player so many times, I can already feel that it's going to be really different coming here as a Manchester United player. Obviously, amazing. It's crazy. Am I ready? Of course. And it was that's the best part of the interview. But yeah, that also makes me a little bit sad about potentially moving away, because the Cunha was the same. Ruben Amorim was the same. It just seems like the stadium's steeped in so much history that everyone just, when new players or managers come in, they are just in awe of it almost. And then, yeah, one more quote to confirm. My first top was a Manchester United top with Ronaldo behind. It's such a big club and I'm really happy to be here. What a guy he was. What a guy, Ronaldo. I mean, it ended badly, but how many signings has he helped us make over the years? Yeah, he's ridiculous. And this is the final quote of the interview, which we covered. The players he looked up to growing up. Changed with time, obviously. When I was really young, we had the two best footballers in the world, Messi and Ronaldo. So obviously I watched them. That's when I was growing up, and then it was Neymar, and then later it was Eden Hazard. And I do feel like those four players almost have a chokehold on like so many footballers growing up. I feel like Cunha might have been the same with Neymar, but obviously the Brazilian connection. But yeah, it was an interesting interview from Bryan Mbeumo. There's a few interesting things. He obviously really prioritised getting in for pre-season. He didn't want to wait for the whole summer, which I think maybe some of United's players who aren't out of the door yet probably want to look at as well. Because basically, players want to have a full pre-season. He's obviously not getting a full one, but it's most of the summer, the entire tour. And I think he's going to have a good impact. Obviously, we've got both of them in. It will be interesting to see them play together. And yeah, let me know all your thoughts on that interview. What were your main takeaways from Mbeumo's first words as a Manchester United player? If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, and that's all from me. We'll see you in the next one.